Right, we've got that piano, the one that was in very poor condition, got it almost ready for tuning. It's had all the check leathers renewed, brand new set of check leathers, and all the tapes have been renewed. So to do the check leathers and the tapes takes about a morning of work. It's all been vacuumed out, so all that dust has disappeared. All the keys have been cleaned. You have to take all of the keys off to clean them properly. So, oh, and another thing. Have a look at the one down at the bottom. You can see how these strings weren't rusty. Hardly, they weren't very rusty. It was just surface rust. And there's no other damage. Come up to the top. Now, since I'm going to try and tune this piano, which hasn't been tuned for about 50 years, to concert pitch, I've had to reinforce the frame. Can you see it's got... I've had to put 3 10mm coach bolts through the cast iron little bit of frame at the top and screw it, do them up at the back with a piece of metal to stop the heads sinking into the wood. That should give it and make it strong enough to tune up to concert pitch. The lid has been glued back on. And the best glue for gluing piano lids back on is this Gorilla Glue. You can use white PVA, but I recommend this glue because it expands to fill the gaps. Because you can never put the lid on exactly as it was when it came off, so there's always going to be a few gaps, and it's no good putting a few books on top to weigh it down while it dries. You have to screw the top on with 6 4-inch screws, so that absolutely makes sure the lid is completely glued back on, better than when it was made. All these holes where the screws are you can fill with a wood filler, which is the ebony, which is the same, almost the same colour as the piano. So that will just, so once those holes have been filled, you won't hardly notice. So you notice, including the original 1, 2, 3, 4 big hexagon screws that went in to hold the top of the frame on, and the 3 extra, that makes 7. Come over to this piano, the other piano that features in this series. You notice this piano has actually got a full frame and it's been reinforced at the top, and it's got 6 bolts going in. So because this piano is the frame is much heavier, they realised that the pin blocks can snap off if you're not careful due to the tension of the strings, so they gave this a totally over-engineered frame, whereas on this one they were a bit skimpy. The frame actually is a 3/4 frame which stops here. That is the top of the frame, that black. And these little bits, this bit that goes on the top isn't actually part of the frame, it's just a bolt-on extra. So that has been reinforced so that it can take the extra tension when I tune it up to concert pitch. Just before you tune it up, although all the pinholes have been injected with the super glue and all the strings have been saturated with the 3:1 mineral engine oil and white spirit mix, there's one thing you should do before trying to tune this piano, and that is use a light oil and put 1 drop on each coil before you try to tune this piano, because even though it's been sprayed with oil, sometimes there isn't quite enough, and if you're not careful, the friction, you can end up snapping a string. I'm hoping to tune this piano to concert pitch and not snap any strings. But I'll just show you before we go what this piano sounds like. It hasn't been tuned for about 50 years, this piano. That's what a piano that hasn't been tuned for 50 years sounds like. And you'll see we can, with this tuning fork, which is A tuned to concert pitch, A440, we can find out exactly how much in tone this piano has sunk. So that's A. This A here should sound like that note. I'll just do it again. And it doesn't. The C does. The C makes the same sound as that tuning fork, roughly. So that means this piano has sunk 4 notes, or 4 semitones down. That is about as bad as they get. Doesn't matter, we can still try and tune it to concert pitch. And I'll show you this piano again after I've tuned it.